Impact News na yam natang na yam special oina sandok chaba program Manipuri abroad diaspora speaker Joyshree Usham na taram nokchari. Ngasigi akhoigi special guest asi originally yai school tinga kham leirak tagini adubu mahak hauzik Canada da citizenship lower duna leire mahak putaram nokchage. He is Dr. Tony Huidrom. Dr. Putaram nokchari.
Nice to meet you, Joyshree.
Same here. It's a pleasure from all of us here.
Thank you.
Dr. Tony Huidrom, my area of proficiency kind of emergency medicine ni, and he's currently working as clinical educator at Greater Toronto area. Mapam Hospital, Mapam ahum panjage, ahan bada Brook Hospital, Toronto, University of Toronto, ani subada MacMaster Children's Hospital, Ontario. Ahum subada Michener Institute of Health Science, Toronto. Masida sunatana Dr. Tony Huidrom, si masagi company Malaysia. He is the CEO, Advanced Life Support Training Center, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. The Impact News na ako yung Manipuri abroad diaspora speak haiba episode asi amna special oina sandok chabani kari pandam dagi sandok puno haraga iramdam dagi mapalom da chatuna laikhraba adagi thabak organizations makan da thabak tawduna laikhraba singa wari sana duna akhoigi iramdam da lairiba youth sing hagulagli ba angang naha sing moida inspire tongnabagi pandam da sandok chaba adukum episode ni aduna. Once again, Dr. Tony Huidrom, we welcome you in our episode. And ihan han bada when a doctor dagi khangjaning basi doctor gi journey so far from Manipur to Canada, how it began. Kamaina Manipur dagi thoktana Canada da laikibano haibagi brief journey do amtang haibiu doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to interact with you. Though it's an impromptu interview, I will try my best. I started my life as a very humble person. I originally from school. I did my schooling in Don Bosco High School, Chingmerong. My dad is a teacher there. My mom, who expired at 8 years ago, was working as principal at TG Higher Secondary School. Okay. I DM College Science tagi PU Science 1985 taloisin jagi. Okay. And my mom, agi ma si engonda yam doctor earning ba, aindi kya di pamjada. But again, as I have said, I have to obey my mom, so I appeared all exams which you want me to appear. I was luckily selected in engineering, veterinary, and medical school. So, I magi pamay matungin na lampel RMC korbi marak amata. RMC ta moen taman gre. But I was not very happy with the system being followed here. However, I finished my medical school and I left. I left Manipur after finishing my internship somewhere around March 1992, if I'm not mistaken. 92. Okay. Yep. Then I did my house job in New Delhi along with my wife. I got married very early, and I did my DNB internal medicine from New Delhi. My wife was doing her postgraduate studies in medical microbiology from AIMS, and then we were never happy with the systems in India, and then we decided that we move abroad. So we first went to the Middle East, where we worked for about 9 years.
Middle East,
Riyadh, to be specific, in Saudi Arabia. Again, we're not so happy there because of, we got lots of difficulties being a foreign worker there. You're always at the mercy of the administration there. So we're not very happy. We're basically looking for the real democratic world, to be honest with you. So we decided, let's move to the West. So it was around 2007, 2008 that we decided that we moved to the West. So that's how we landed up in Canada. But I stayed back in Middle East working till I permanently moved around 7 years ago.
7 years ago, that would be.
That is somewhere around 2009.
2009 calculation.
Yeah, I know it's must around 8 years. Yeah.
So why you have chosen Canada? Why Canada? There must be something very special about Canada.
Well, that's a good question, to be honest with you. Well, as I have said, we were basically looking for a true democratic world. And I don't want to comment further about the democracy here, but what we are experiencing in Canada or in the West is a real democracy where you have the right to voice a concern, where you have the right to, not to say anything, but to raise a concern about things, what's going on, where I have the right to question my local councillor. Unlike, I don't want to comment further, unlike certain areas where your voice is snuffed.
India is one of the biggest democratic country, but Doctor Na, the reason why you have left is you feel that it's not true democracy.
It's not a true democracy, you're right. It's not a true democracy, and I find, to be honest, forgive me if I'm hurting the sentiment of people, I think we Indians, or we Métis in general, are a little bit judgmental in character, or in our society is a little bit judgmental. So I'm not happy with all those kind of, I was born a little bit differently. So I'm not happy with those kind of attitude of the society in general, though I love I love my Métis Kunai, and I'm still trying to do a lot for my community and a lot for my homeland. But somehow, I mean, maybe I was young, maybe I was a little bit, hot-headed, but I was never happy with the system. I was never happy with the nepotism of that time, and I think it's still going on.
Any specific incident that have really hurt you? Any specific incident talk if young personal
personal talk Mali. In general, I was not happy. Like here in this kind of place, you need connections to be famous. You need connections. It's something like you need to know. You need not have knowledge, but you need to have whom you know, not what you know. So whom you know, it doesn't matter what you know. So I don't like all those systems. So I know what, to be honest with you, I know that once you finish medical school, once you finish some, your professional studies, the way to get a job, the way to get promotions, the route to reach certain height is a lot of obstacles. I don't want to comment further. Everyone knows it. So that's why I said I didn't like the nepotism being practiced here. So I thought, let me go to a place where my talent will be recognized, where I can climb further. And I found the right place.
I'm not being pessimistic, I'm the negative pessimist or in a canbe wanati, but I'm sure ahogi iram dam da leriba mayam na youth na zodum kan doctor gi sentiments kan understand to bangam gani hen thaje adi ahogi society je yamna corrupted oiba thabo amagi damak tawrazu paisa wanomba sigumba je ahoina thengna da badnate it's adukumba gi nungai taba ama lai badagi Dr. Tony Huidrom na mafam atopa amada magi talent appreciate to bigada mafamda oina ai khunda jagi haina Canada da chakibani adagi adum da Canada gi citizenship laudana adada laigibani si kitang nungai to sentiment of worry sanare music ko adu mathang da di kitang nungai ba worry sanasi. Let's talk about your life in Canada. First of all, Canada gi work ethics se kamain tawge adu amta haibiwa. How is colleagues ka moi interaction, boss and employee, adagi doctor di medical field lebnina. How is the doctor and patient relationship?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a very sensitive issue, but without hurting the sentiment of anyone here or anyone there, as you have just said now, doctor-patient relationship. If I have to describe in one word, it is patient-centric. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's patient-centric.
Not doctor-centric.
Not the patriarchal type of, this is my decision, take it or leave it. See later. It's a patient-centric. I'm concerned about the safety of my patient. Even if the patient is not taking the right decision, it is his right. But if I know that the decision which the patient is taking is not right, then I have to take the help of my colleagues or other social workers or other departments to help convince the patient that the decision which he or she is taking is not a right decision. It might harm him. I think when we practice medicine, we have the ethics of Western medical practice is very strong, which I never learned it here. We would just learn, the theories without any ethics. And I feel, looking at the way how medicine is being practiced here and looking at the way how medicine is being practiced in the West, it's like heaven and hell. That's the difference. As I have said, it's patient-centric. We depend on 4 principles, which is what we call it 4 pillars. Autonomy.
Autonomy.
The patient has a right. The patient has a right to refuse any treatment. But even if I know that he has got his autonomy, I have to do justice. I don't want this treatment. I should be doing justice. So I should be explaining to you what are the pros and the cons of this treatment. And if you don't like this treatment, this is the alternate. What are the pros and the cons of this alternate?
Options.
Options. I have to explain the options to the particular patient and let him decide. So I should be doing justice. So I should not be harming the patient. And whatever action I do on the patient should be beneficial to the patient. So justice, autonomy, beneficence, maleficence. These 4 principles guides our treatment. Exercising your franchise of autonomy, if you take the wrong decision, I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to ask my colleagues' help. I'm going to ask other departments' help to convince. And still there are times when they refuse, then we even have to call in other relatives. Though we're not allowed to leak out informations of any individual's health to the family members, there are certain circumstances where we might have to consult the ethical department or ethical committee of the hospital to make sure the patient is not being harmed.
Do department consult interrelate do you really how is the system? Do you really are you able to connect? Like, how do you meet? I mean, do you really get time to interact with the other departments?
Sure. We don't work as an individual. We work as a unit. We work as a team. So we respect every healthcare individual, every healthcare worker, starting from the RNs or registered nurse, PS, personal support workers. There are different allied healthcare professionals working in a hospital. We don't consider ourselves as the only healthcare provider. We always consult and we respect every healthcare provider, and we work as a team. Even some have the doctor. It's a little bit, it's strange to me because when we work as a team, as a family, no one calls me Dr. Tony. They just call me, hi Doctor, hi Tony, how are you?
Just by name.
Yeah, so we address each other by names because you know me that I'm a doctor. I know you that you are a nurse, you're a thing. So what's the point of asking you, hey doctor, okay, I'm working here as a doctor. So we address each other by, which is a friendly atmosphere, it's a very different atmosphere where we work like a family members. Tony, morning. Hi, how are you? Have you had your coffee? Here's one coffee kind of it's a very casual. That does not mean
yet they respect
that
each other.
does not mean we are casual with our treatment of a patient. We are strict. We have a very strong ethics and a very strong work culture. When we say duty starts at 8, it's 8. Duty ends at 4, it's 4.
Okay.
We're given about half an hour to have lunch hour and all this stuff. So talking about the work culture in the West or work culture in any advanced country as compared to third world countries or developing countries, I shouldn't be using the word third world countries, people might get offended. Developing countries like India, it's a little bit different. I won't say a little bit different, it's like heaven and hell, to be honest with you. The work culture or the work ethics is there. When we say duty starts at 8, it is at 8. You might have to come a little bit ahead of time, but it's never unless something is happening to you, which for which you have to inform the department that I'm coming a little bit late. But normally, when we say 8, we start at 8. Normally, we work for 8-hour shift, and especially the doctors, but nurses, they work a little bit different. They work a little bit, their shift is different, but they'll always be given some lunch hour. No one denies you your lunch hours.
1 hour or 45 minutes?
It's 45 minutes maximum. It all depends on the area where you work. Say, for example, ER or the ER, the emergency department. Just go and have lunch, come back, and then when you come back, I'll go. I think we don't have really time to have food. When we work, if we finish my shift at 4, I should finish at 4. But in case if I am busy, that I'm not able to go back at 4. Then if I am extending this is called overtime, so we get paid for that. We get paid 1.5 hours, so 1.5 times than the normal wage.
What if you purposely stay back 1 hour?
No, that ethic is there. We don't do that. That we only stay back when we are forced to or when we are compelled to. I don't want to leave my patients just like that, right? So if I'm working a little bit, late or a little bit, if my departure is a little bit delayed, then I have to record that I work 45 minutes more. Then I'll get paid for it. So.
Me sincere or honest or transparent or
That's true. In general, everyone is sincere. Everyone is saying, but you know what? Every society has got 1 or 2, those kind of stuff. But in general, I'm saying that they're sincere.
No, say doctor-patient relationship say patient they autonomy when decision but and then at the same time like in medias when we read certain magazines we have come across news like patients na doctor su was line su then see matang na cry
as we said I think it's a patient-centric treatment. It's not a patriarchal treatment which we practice over here. So patient suito busi tongni patient means it's not that I'm afraid physically or I'm afraid that that you might sue me, but we approach the patient very carefully. Like we treat them with respect. We treat you like our own family members. We respect you. We approach you in a very comfortable, in a very professional way, and we take consent. Kitang examine to guys so examine to we as a katra kaina ko ta hangaga mana yadi upay late. I don't want you to examine I want another doctor we accept those kind of things. So if I force myself, no, I'm the only one, I have to see you kind of in a forced already, yes, then I'm asking for trouble. So we don't do all those kind of things, all those kind of practice. We literally, I won't say we literally worship, but we literally are scared, not scared physically as I've said. We are very, very careful of our patient-doctor relationship. I'm not supposed to take a cup of coffee from you if you're a patient. This is something like a bribery, but it's not wrong for me to give you a cup of coffee. The
ethics very high ethics.
That's where we India third world countries tiny British curriculum. We only know theory. Ethics Hippocratic oaths and ethical issue is a big issue. That's why when we move to the West, most of us, I won't say most of us, every one of us have to retrain ourselves into their culture, into their ethical, into their medicine. I know medicine is medicine everywhere, but we lack ethics. But honestly speaking, so I find it very difficult to understand the practice here.
Thank you, Doctor. Matangas why the break malagjage break matungda amukahanda Dr. Tony Huidrom ga magi experience Canada da laibagi experience mayam share togjage. Welcome back after the break. Doctor, break among the Canada work ethics ki matang the worry sanagre. The doctor, you're working as a clinical educator. The clinical educator have zikarino, which home the dita the vanina kang de kitang have you clinical educator zikarino is.
Right. Clinical educator have in any institution or in any hospital there are educators which looks after the education of the healthcare professionals. Some have the if I'm not mistaken, there are clinical educators here in India also, but I think they don't really function as clinical educator. Designation the post but if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm ignorant or maybe I'm naive, but they're not functioning as the literal clinical educator. So let me explain to you what clinical educator is. So in any healthcare institution or hospital, we have a quality assurance team. We need to follow a standard operating procedure for the resuscitation or for educating healthcare professionals. So what I'm doing right now is we are only clinical educators for resuscitation. Have the when like we are both sitting together now. Suppose if I suddenly collapse, what are you going to do? So this is resuscitation.
Emergency.
I cannot ponder for a minute what's going on. So I have to act now. Basically, you have to act now or break it. So this kind of emergency, yes, we have lots of super specialties like cardiologists, gastroenterologists, nephrologists, internal medicine, surgery. But what I'm doing as a clinical educator is the art of the science of resuscitation, which is an internationally accepted protocol, which the West does, which Europe does, and which most of the developing countries does. But I'm not very sure about the prevailing situation in India, or I won't say about India, but at least in Manipur. Quick reflex, quick action, misi revive the Hogdragati call. Kaita misi hector expa, a quick expa, I would like to see people call. Sugumba, Haktangi, Amani, crucial, Amani crucial action chair. Suguma when a talk. Trauma, the Yahoraga, the trauma, the road traffic accident, motor vehicle collision, the Torga. Take no approach only, come handle only at the ER department, so come patient stabilize Taraga, department give me how to stabilize and how to fix the problem. So I'm basically looking after resuscitation of newborns. Heck pull up I am really wake up a couple of them couple of the Aina resuscitation counter the angang brain hypoxia, asphyxia, handicap when they doing that. Sugumba talked about when we labor room give me the gynae gumba, the doctors and pediatricians when I trained over. So this is I know whether my pediatrician, more pediatrics is science to not end Tambiga, when Tamalisi, gynae specialist, more the Tamu. I'm coming when I'm with it. When the Tamalisna, not tongue to be a money to Toba. So now neonatal sitawi, my specialty the pediatrics, any pediatric advanced life support, the adult life support, the trauma lab. Some of my arms are healthcare professional could some exercise or yearly certification or we American Hearts, Amazon Heart and Stroke Foundation, or with Germany and Mirror Image organization, Sigi my KD when certification period thamba. We are the healthcare professional could my degree from there, so Siguma certification out the Tabak
Doctor Somna Kanogi, Manipur Degi, Delhi Degi can Middle East Degi Canada Layadu. Is it really difficult if a boy or a girl from Manipur like Tamaga Mapalum the Tabak Tauge Hadi Chatpaziyam expensive or Gedra difficult over like what are the advices suggestions Karikari like doctor?
I would say it's not so difficult. I mean, when you have the will, you have the way. So I was determined that I should move. So I worked my way up. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm just a simple mere human being. But I was determined from the very beginning that I wouldn't be staying here. I don't want to work here. So I should move to some other place where I would like to work. So I worked my way up. So I moved to Delhi. I didn't like the place Delhi so much because Northeast key, Northeast high I don't have to say much. So I didn't like the place, but I have to get a degree from there. So I moved to the West. When I moved to Middle East, it's in Middle East which changed my life. haide akoi ni sa have to India ri train to pa medical healthcare professionals sing se sigumbi resuscitation si de kanam tak per tung akoi khang da ba a year ago when I started working I worked in a hospital called King Faisal Specialist Hospital Riyadh, which is looking after the royal families which are run by the Americans. So when I started working with the Americans and the Canadians and the Britishers, I realized that I'm very handicapped in all those kind of stuff. And that's my turning point. That's where I decided I will be one of them, and I will start spreading this knowledge and spreading this art. So when I was in Saudi Arabia, I was going everywhere. I was spreading this, science of resuscitation to different places. So and that helped me move to the West, because they also need this kind of individuals who are spreading this, who are working in order to improve healthcare. So after landing there, I started working with the American Hearts, associated with the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and I have contributed. I won't say I have contributed. I contribute a lot in improving the quality of the Canadian healthcare system by certifying all their healthcare professionals and improving the healthcare.
So Dr. Nadi, some thadorga domda contribution mi ampi reko. Do you miss home? How often do you come to Manipur?
I miss home, to be honest with you. Once a Métis, always a Métis. I always try to maintain the fact that I'm a Métis. Well, let me say first thing, religion is a personal thing, but I know that I'm a Métis. So I miss home, especially when I start thinking of food. But the good thing is that no ina phangya da. Ngari soibum toning kok tenawang bi. I just go to a Bangladeshi dukan like.
Okay.
The rest you can get from any of the Asian, Chinese or Vietnamese thing, and we get even Hawaiiar in Hawaiiar say Japanese dukan da phangye. The khitang di hawk there. I san lonjare. Isana Hawaiiar lonjay. Aduga am lai lon bati.
Doctor Mamang Haigi ko. Doctor is already married. The doctor gi wife, she's also in Canada. Angang kya le regi. Sijo kam thaibiu.
Yeah, I'm married to my childhood sweetheart because we studied together. So that's why I said I got married as soon as I finished my medical school and we left.
Okay.
She's from Shillong. She's a Khasi. She's a Khasi mother with. I think her father is from Allahabad, UP. So she's a little bit, in between.
Mixed family.
Yeah, mixed. So everyone is mixed in my family. So when I asked my son, "Who are you?" I said, "You're 50% Métis, 25% Khasi, 25% Allahabad." So that's the way how our family is. But my children he's in the university. My son and my daughter.
Already in university.
Yeah.
Well, you look so young.
Oh, thank you very much. That's a compliment. So, my son is in the university. He's doing accounting and business.
He's the only child?
No, he's the eldest, and he's about 20 now. He's in the university in the West. Once they attain 18, they work and they finance their own education. So that's why he was not able to come here, because he works in the summer breaks in summer.
You see, this is the norm.
This is the norm.
So you don't find
the parents cannot do anything.
And do they stay with you, or they are staying separately?
That's something which is very painful to us, but that's the norm. That's a culture. So he stays outside because his university is far away from my city. Otherwise, you know what? You have to trust your children. You have to trust your children. If the children is good, he'll go to the right path. If the children is not good, you cannot do anything anymore. Now I'm waiting for my daughter. She's finishing 12. So and then she'll be entering university. So if she happens to study in a university, which again depends magi mana pamjribal line to ko adugi mana pamjribal line to gi akoi banak ta tamadi adum aigi lemena tare adum ati city de chakhadi, she has to move out also. So she has to look after herself. So that's the trend.
Yes, adu follow tok the targadi, it will be considered abnormal.
It is considered abnormal. Akoi swai angang akoi angang se mama pan phajin thame kai na ngasi kind of abnormal me to be a man, to be a woman, at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your decision. We just guide you a little bit.
The doctor life partner, is she also working there?
She's trying to become an infectious disease consultant. She's in MacMaster University. she's doing her retraining again there.
Okay. Doctor Somda kai akoina America, the North American Manipuri Association kindly other Manipuri diasporas abroad moi adum no interact over matam phangbra. Do you have a get together kumbalegbra kamai to edim tang social life to cry.
Right. So North American Manipuri Association amadle isu khangi, and I know most of them, but we have our own association called Manipuri Association of Canada, MAC and but we do have with the Manipuri Association of Canada I am labor the lay meetings job visa the lock permanent resident of Hungary I am not quite tabak I'm almost 80% of them, so it's only a few of us who are literally who are neutralized and who have become citizen and who are settled and hingon patata bagaido
neutralized.
It depends. So you need US for us we have to stay 3 years non-stop without even leaving the country. PR citizen
okay.
Lots of immigrants are coming in.
You have to be employed and you have to have certain bank balance.
That's for immigration. That's for immigration. The immigration to we hire the sustain government help they don't want to help do as much as possible, but they will help. Yes, that's the way how we left also. That was long back.
Doctor, there's so many things that can worry like social life ke matang da mayam adu matam di khara dum tension lak pani na ko aina loiram dai da hangjaning mo se Doctor D like kano thamoi da di maitei ne forever maitei, whether you are in India, Canada or Manipur maitei ne ko adu hajikti asomda lai grabani na you have your family there nangi angang ani su leire, so how are you maintaining your Manipuri identity there in a foreign land?
That's a good question, and I wish everyone who stays abroad does this also. But you know, at the end of the day, it's the individual choice. I have a tattoo of Vidok, which is, I don't know much about religion, to be honest with you, but this is to ensure that I remain in my day. And when people start asking me, what's that? Was that a dragon? No, then I started telling them, no, this is not a dragon, this is my just to tell them that I'm in my day. I always put my along with my Canadian flag. So and I always put stickers, although I know it sounds a little bit childish, but this is to ensure that people knows where I am from. Proud to be a Métis, and I stick a yeah, I have a big flag of which I put it up in front of my house. Well, this is to ensure.
You should have shared your picture. We could have shown to our audience.
I have it, but it's just that I don't want a little bit of publicity. I stay a little bit, I mean, out of, media, out of sight. I tell me, 13 August, some of the issue them. I'm going to Doctor do they Manipuri language well, that's an irony and that's a tragedy. We are so used to speaking in English, and then we are we are working, so we don't have time. I wouldn't say we don't have time. It would be wrong for me to say we don't have time, but just to have an easy life, so we ended up talking in English all the time. So my daughter unfortunately cannot speak any language except English. She doesn't know anything. I mean, not born, but raised up in Canada, so she's totally Canadian Western culture. It doesn't mean that they don't know the Eastern, No, I treat myself as much as possible. Oh, I'm taking a lot of books. She told me to bring lots of Manipuri literature books. She's very interested in Huidrom Sarmla. In fact, you know what? She gave a speech on Huidrom Sarmla in London, Ontario. So, like, she tries to keep. She's the only one who tries to learn from online. Mama she's very interesting. That like speaking Maitei guy she's very interested. But he's an adult now. It's too late for me. However, in order for me to tell them who they are, I was pena later chaki. My daughter and I am going to play pena. I'm taking a costume for moirang thoibi costume ama lai ai isa na pa bani gi akoi moirang khambagi full dress
full costume
lady which let me also tell you that when we were in Saudi Arabia they had this thing and they were also akoi school gi functioning way angang we de hong to ge do khardi moi chaw ra ina chawum lai yeah I maintain in my akoi yum da is pakhang gi kai wood carving ga thami mai adum ai family room kai lab ko da ga slide lagi frang as wall and jong tel le moi ma na moi sa pa ka no si ka hang da when haizer na khoi da kano si origin si stay ni ka na hai de khatang de kaw de ba ni yam ta pa ngam dra su ka na you know I try my best to make
yam nung ai je doctor yam nung si de kano doctor nas mai na mai te gi identity ngak na ba kano pa khalak pa kano action myam ji although when are you leaving doctor kai no minute at
I'll be leaving on 6th of September.
6th of September.
Yeah, but in between, I have to go and visit my in-laws in Shillong, and it's the anniversary of my father-in-law, so it was 27th. So I have to be there from Kaidai Tang Kuntrama Thoi the Buhok the Paragus Among York. I'm on my toes now. I have to pack up things and all those things. Yeah.
Okay. We Impact News we wish you a safe journey and all the best for your future. And thank you so much for joining us today in this special episode. Matam Lawyer Globandina, we have to finally say bye for now. I hope to meet you again when you come here next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Joyshree. It was a pleasure. I'm humbled. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. Ngasigi di Manipuri abroad diaspora speak hariba episode si matang aswai delusion jerege. Thank you.